Well, shit. Let's get started right now because I got a few things I want to talk about. Because there are some things, there are things that truly matter and have an effect, a direct effect on your life. I mean, if you was driving 50 miles an hour, wouldn't you want to know if there was a brick wall around the corner waiting for you to smash into? What if you want to know? Well, what if you had no idea that a brick wall was around the corner? What the fuck would happen? Things really matter. This is how I approach teaching at Sidewalk University. And this is how the students are seeing learning. What was once something they wanted no part of, they now embrace. Now, why do you think that is? First of all, thinking is what I'm talking about. They used to avoid thinking, but they embrace it now. And they embrace it because they know what's important in life. And to distinguish those points are very important. Now they prioritize everything in their life. They list it almost like I do. Now the thing about what I'm trying to tell you is simple things you don't do today are the things that's holding you back. And those things you allow to control you. Not at SWU. You better wake up. One of the good things about our one-on-one calls is I show the students where they really are, where they're really at. No matter what you claim, the proof is going to be in the pudding. You remember that saying, the proof is in the pudding? And the pudding being your opportunity to show your improvements by participating in the goddamn things to do. And speaking to a lot of live females. Now, I can't understand how you could listen to a woman tell you so much about what women are thinking and you not even get at her. Oh man, I didn't even put my banner up. Let me get my banner up. Matter of fact, that's right. I got a new number to call in, 833-940-6085. That's the new calling number, 833-940-6085. Call in and let me know what you're thinking, and call in just to let me know that number working if that's the case. See, I get female callers, not often, but when I do, and she's willing to talk, and she's sharing what her girlfriends and her think about dudes, and you guys don't even want to talk to her. You won't even call in to talk to her. Now I don't need to practice, and it's obvious you feel you don't need it either. But if that's the case, why do you continue to strike out when you get at women? Do you ask yourself these questions? Now, I don't strike out ever. I miss frequently. But that's not striking out. Missing is par for the course. When you spit fire, having what you say, uh, having what you say dismissed several hundred times during a single week, I'm telling you, it's par. 'Cause I talk hella shit, and if you have listened to my show, I talk the same shit to women. Maybe not the exact same way, but I talk the same shit. Why can't you guys hear the science that's being laid down when I'm speaking to a woman, especially a woman live? She doesn't frighten me as she does you. Then I'm just curious. Why don't you see the format that I'm laying down when I'm talking to a doggone woman? You can't take it in because you don't seal any of the information that you're fucking getting into your very being. Otherwise, talking to those women who call in and are willing to talk, answer questions, is just what the doctor ordered for you guys. I mean, it's not, she don't see you. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's just too many reasons for you to talk to him. You'll certainly text a motherfucker and talk whatever shit you talk in Texas, but you don't actually interact in any kind of live situation. Man, you don't take advantage of what I'm doing, and it's hard to keep doing it if you don't take advantage of it. You guys sit, listen, and hear the only men who move these women to speak truthfully are the ones who bought my course or the ones that graduated from Sidewalk U. They're the only ones who have two fucking nuts and are not afraid to expose them to women. You know, I respect the men who've stepped up their fucking game with this fucking abadabba. I'm talking about they're able to witness it when they're tested on the spot, live. Yeah, the proof is indeed in the pudding. And my alumni proved the pudding indeed can be handled. How many times would you tell a dummy something to do and expect him or her to be able to do it? How many times? I'm just saying. Holla at a brother. I know you guys are shy. It's early in the morning. Holla at me. The number is 833-940-6085. 833-940-6085. And it is scrolling across the screen. See, you need problems like the one I just mentioned in your life. You need problems like this. Two motherfuckers with this abadabba wanted to give a party but couldn't agree on whose house to give it at. Both knew if it was at their pad, it would give them the most credit. How should they decide? One of the motherfuckers lived in a 4-bedroom home laid out in powder blue wall-to-wall carpet with fly-ass beige leather furniture, formal dining room, and each room had the latest bedroom furniture. The other nigga lived in a 2-story home laid out with a 12-piece playpen for the living room, 4 bedrooms laid out in the latest fashions, a Chinese fireplace in the backyard, and a pool, a gorgeous view of the city. I mean, both had all the amenities anyone could want. How do they decide? How would you decide? I made a comment, and this is the same thing. I made a comment about competing, and that comment sparked a lot of doggone discussion. One fool made the comment that it was an insignificant question because real men don't need to compete. Now, in my opinion, this fella was way off base when it comes to this affidavit. See, most men in the square world thinks like dude think because they're really insecure concerning themselves. In the life we led, if you were not willing to compare yourself with another nigga that's queued up, especially the one you see rolling, you were not willing to grow in this doggone affidavit. When I do get in those moods, I ask simple but compelling fucking questions. When niggas with this affidavit get together, their lives are the center of the conversation. And yes, it includes all the things you mentioned. When two live motherfuckers are rolling, but they have their own recipes for how it's done, they damn sure will compare and compete. Man, my lifelong friend Shantae will tell you he and I competed every single day of our lives. And if you weren't willing to compare yourself with competition, you already lost the game. You can tell yourself or explain clearly to yourself why you should not compete. But the plain and simple truth is you ain't shit and you know it. Competing is for real men. Screaming comments from the side is called sidelining. And it's for the motherfucking spectators who claim to be real. I challenge any of you to do a semester with me and not see the light. I believe you guys should really jump on the shit that I'm talking about, especially these tools. You know, I ain't gonna keep telling you about the tools because sooner or later I'm gonna include them in SWU's curriculum. I'm trying to get all of you guys to jump on this deal, or not deal, just jump on what I'm doing before it's too late. For $100, you can get 6 conversation tools, any 6 of your choice. And for $120, you can get 6 of the mentality tools. You guys need these tools in preparation for, the conversations that you're going to have. Who knows what will work and what won't? I sure as hell do. I got 4 new categories of tools that I'm introducing, targeted at specific areas of growth. And believe me, your conversation will improve. I made these tools because I know how to bring the truth out of any woman I'm dealing with. Now, the first category is just about this game, this affidavit, and some of the secrets you should know going in. There are things that happen in the beginning of this life that you got to adjust to. And I talk about those things and how to make those adjustments. Then, there's a category about manning up. Some dudes think you can get involved with this affidavit and play from the shadows. This is like the totally wrong way to go about turning out. And we discuss the correct things to do. Now, the third category is about winning. Once you're, on your path, certain things will guarantee your success. And I demand that all my students think to win. They don't play the tie or break even. See, now, the fourth category is the important things about integrity that you're going to need to be down. In a new relationship, I show all my bad sides early on. I believe if she stay around after dealing with the worst of me, it'll be a piece of cake for her, to deal with the pleasant me. I just can't help myself. I go hard all day long. Some can't stand it because of the pace. Many times, as I keep grinding, because I grind for what I want. You know, many times I realize a fact of life, and that fact is everybody wants shit, but very few will go get it. SWU is named that we're the go getters. Do this, I guess this heat spell, I could call it. Do this heat spell, does it indicate the end of winter? And we're to prepare ourselves for the fucking heat wave that we gonna suffer. But what's even doper? You can grind in any weather. I make these videos to help bring about change. I'm graced and blessed to have, met up with the real when I set foot in Hollywood. Shantae, my dog, since the 70s, has always been real with me. We done fell out several times, but the dog in each of us has always outshined or outlasted the bullshit. I'm telling you, I'm fortunate to have lived this long. And I've had a very fucking fruitful life. I also realize my time on earth is coming to the end and I want to goddamn leave a message. You got to be able to feel when your golden years are approaching. When I was younger, I thought about if I should work and wait for retirement to travel and see the country, maybe the world, or should I travel while youthful and dedicate my golden years to working? I decided that I'd rather travel while I was young and work when I got older. The opposite of the way most people think. For me, traveling while I was young is what made the years I have left golden. This was no accident. The remaining years I have were made golden by my being a man of enormous character. I got hella integrity. I've always been a top flight street player, and I'm a gracious human being. Now, I've grown to be a person willing to learn whatever it takes to make my life have progress in it. Hey, why are you guys not calling? No calls. I don't understand. No fucking calls. Can somebody call in and let me know this goddamn phone system I just bought is working? I promise myself to adhere to the understanding that each one teach one. None of my being the top flight anything is important to you per se, but my being Rosebud the motherfucking pimp, and and you with the fucking knowledge that I'm now a professor with my own school, that's of interest to a lot of people. And what makes it interesting is the why of it all. Why has had an allure to it since the beginning of time. Scholarly people, men and women, have always seen it as a topic to discuss, debate, and theorize about. My speaking of how good of a person I am or the changes I've made most likely means nothing to you. But I'll bet my last dollar a lot of you want to know why I retired. Most of you won't accept that it's true. And I'm sure a lot of that is because I'm always on social media or on somebody's motherfucking case about this game. Or in most cases, mispimping. Now, what I mean is, from my earliest memories, for some reason, I've always wanted to be important. Man, I need to go get my phone and call because I just can't believe nobody wanted to call in. For me, being the center of attention wasn't enough. I had to be special in my own way. And I don't mean I wanted to be treated any other way than I deserved to be treated, because I knew I would deserve special. I've always been a standout in sports. And in just about anything I pursued, I was among the higher echelon of it. I grew up competing and losing to all my older brothers, and through it all, I really wanted to be a well-known motherfucker. I did not especially want to be an entertainer, but that would have worked. I certainly did not want to be any kind of fucking political figure or any leader, if that's the case. But I did have a great thirst to be important. I just wanted to be an important person. I don't really know where that thirst began, but if anyone influenced me in that direction, it was my father. Clinton Dixon Sr. was, quite a well-known man in the city of Vallejo. Caller, what's up?
This call is being recorded.
Caller, what's up?
Rosebud, hello. I'm testing. You said to call you, so that's why I'm calling.
Well, it works. You let me know the phone work. I would rather you had a question, but it's cool. Yeah, the phone does work.
No, I don't have a question. I'm just for you to test your phone.
All right, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Okay. Damn, and I hate it says that you being recorded on that. I got to ask them to take that shit off. Yeah, caller, I really appreciate you coming and let me know this goddamn phone work. Anyway, my pop had a lot to do with how the city survived. But he wasn't a politician. He was an electronic. Today, he'd be one of those motherfuckers who work on the computer boards. He never ran for any office, but the major players of the city, from the mayor to the police chief down to the city councilman, all would seek out Mr. Dixon's advice on things concerning the citizens or politics of Vallejo. Pops was the first black Chevron service station owner in Vallejo. He was a 36-degree Mason, and he truly was a great dad. He was a low-key type person, but when somebody had an idea to make something, the community better, they came to Pops, and if the idea was sound, he would do all he could to make it happen. And when Pops passed, the Mason stood over him for like 72 hours straight. He was buried with many honors from that group of men because his respect was earned the hard way, the old-fashioned way. He worked for it. One thing I know for a fact is my dad was proud of me. I said that. I said what I said to say he knew what I did. But, I'm a respectful son in all aspects to my parents and would never floss or acknowledge I was a pimp to either of them. I remember when I bought that Rolls Royce. I rode to Vallejo and went to my parents' home to pay them a quick visit. My pops was in his normal attire, blue overalls, and a twisted little hat he wore, working in the front yard. I never fronted with my hoes, but this time I had 4 white girls with me in the car. So I ran up to Pops and shook his hand and went in to kiss moms. When I came back out, I was smiling and told Pops of my accomplishment in buying this damn Rolls Royce. My pops put his foot on the shovel and said, "Boy, you really think you're doing something, don't you?" I reached in my back pocket and pulled a pink slip out from my wallet to emphasize I had just cashed out a Rolls Royce. I showed it to my father and he chuckled as he walked back towards the backyard. And he looked at me, and I'm telling you, I walked over to my pops and he told me something that let me see just why I was such a hoe magnet. My pops said, "Boy, I seen the time when it took me 30 days of 1 month and 15 days of the next month just for me to see all my women." And he walked a little further into the backyard and stopped and turned and started to walk me back toward my car. And as he did, he was smiling and looking at my rings and shit. He grabbed my hand and examined them, as we walked. And when I got to the car, I did something I never do. I introduced my hoes to my father. And afterwards, I hopped in and backed out. When I put the car in drive and pulled off, my pops gave me his approval for probably the only time. I was finna say one of the few times, but that was probably the only time. And I was stoked when he did it. As I drove off, I heard my father say, "Do it, boy." All of us did just about anything that either of our parents complimented us. That was hard to get from my parents. A compliment. All right, you guys. You don't want to call in. I guess you're doing that to punish me. You shouldn't want to punish me because I do everything I can for your ass. But it is what it is what it is. So I'm gone.